Your boss just destroyed your idea in front of the entire team. But here's what you didn't see. That wasn't a mistake. That was warfare. A study of 400 employees across 8 countries just proved something most men refuse to believe. 56% of you are working under a toxic manager right now. And they're not failing at management. They're succeeding at something far more dangerous. They're gaslighting you, scapegoating you, manipulating you with surgical precision, because that's how they keep power. Niccolo Machiavelli warned 500 years ago, power operates when it identifies and exploits weakness. Your weakness. You still think this is about performance. It's not. This is psychological warfare. And while you've been playing by the rules, your manager has been weaponizing every conversation, every meeting, every email to keep you powerless. But here's what they never expected. Psychological warfare works both ways, and there's one strategy, strategy number 7, that will flip the entire power dynamic permanently. Use it wrong, and you'll sabotage your career. Use it right, and you'll never be controlled again. But before I reveal that, you need to understand the 3 manipulation tactics they're already using on you. Stay with me. Here's what's about to happen. First, I'll expose the exact psychological warfare tactics toxic managers use to gaslight, manipulate, and dominate you without leaving evidence. Then, you'll learn 7 Machiavellian counter-strategies that organizational psychologists documented, but HR will never teach you. Finally, you'll discover strategy number 7, the nuclear option, the one move that either destroys your career or makes you untouchable. But here's the part that'll shock you. Your manager is already 3 moves ahead, and if you don't learn these strategies in the next 10 minutes, you'll spend the next 10 years wondering why you stayed stuck. Let's change that. Right now. Think back to the last time you walked into a meeting confident and walked out questioning your sanity. Your manager said you misunderstood the directive, but you know they approved it 2 weeks ago. You try to explain, they cut you off. You show evidence, they twist the facts. You defend yourself, they make you look defensive. That's not bad communication, that's gaslighting, and it's one of 3 core tactics research just exposed. Tactic number 1, gaslighting. They rewrite history, invalidate your memory, and project their failures onto you. Tactic number 2, scapegoating. They publicly blame you for their mistakes to maintain their image. Tactic number 3, microaggressions. Subtle dismissals, exclusion from meetings, eye rolls during your presentations, designed to erode your confidence without leaving proof. Now here's the part most men refuse to admit. These tactics work. Why? Because of one psychological flaw in your brain, a flaw your manager exploits every single day. I'll reveal it in 60 seconds. But first, you need to see the neuroscience behind this. A peer-reviewed study found that when people gain power, their brains physically rewire. Empathy drops. Aggression rises. They justify ruthless behavior without guilt. Translation: that manager smiling at you in the hallway? Their brain has already calculated whether you're useful, disposable, or a threat. Machiavelli wrote, "Individuals pursue all necessary means to reach desired goals, placing personal accomplishment before collegiality." Your manager isn't playing fair, they're playing strategically. And if you keep fighting fair, you've already lost. So let's stop losing. Remember the psychological flaw I mentioned? Here it is. You assume people in power earned that power through competence. They didn't. They earned it through dominance. Organizational psychology proves this. When toxic managers use fear, subordinates experience increased psychological distress, decreased motivation, impaired performance. But they stay silent. Why? Because silence is survival. Your brain recognizes the threat. It calculates the risk. If I speak up, I lose my job. If I stay quiet, maybe I survive. That's not a weakness. That's self-preservation in a hostile environment. But here's the twist your manager never expected. Every manipulation tactic has a counter-tactic. Gaslighting, document everything. Scapegoating, build invisible alliances. Intimidation, emotional detachment. Machiavelli warned, What benefits the enemy harms you, and what benefits you harms the enemy. And strategy number 7. It's the one counter-tactic that removes them from the equation entirely. But you're not ready for it yet. First, you need the foundation, the 7 strategies. Strategy number 1. Document everything. The law, memory is a weapon. Documentation is armor. Your manager says, "I never approved that." Weak response. You argue. They dismiss you. HR believes them. Strategic response. You pull up the time-stamped email. Forward it to HR. Subject, clarifying project directive per original approval. Game over. They can't gaslight written proof, but documentation alone won't protect you. You need strategy number 2. Strategy number 2. Strategic silence. The law. Never reveal your next move. Machiavelli. No proceeding is better than that which you have concealed until you execute it. Your manager thrives on information. The second you reveal your job hunting, they sabotage you. The second you mention reporting them, they preemptively discredit you. Strategic move, silent interviews. Land the offer. Resign with 2 weeks' notice. No warning, no counter-offer, no defense. By the time they realize, you're gone. But what if you can't leave yet? That's where strategy number 3 becomes critical. Strategy number 3. Build invisible alliances. The law. Power isn't top-down, it's lateral. Toxic managers isolate targets. But if you quietly build relationships with senior leadership, cross-functional teams, and HR, you become politically untouchable. Example, your manager spreads lies about your performance. Weak move, defend yourself in meetings. Strategic move, deliver high-visibility wins to senior leaders, build credibility with decision-makers. Over time, your manager's lies equals noise. Your results equals truth. But alliances only work if you control your reactions. That's strategy number 4. Strategy number 4, emotional detachment. The law. The moment you react emotionally, you lose. Toxic managers provoke reactions to justify their abuse. You yell, "Unstable," you cry. Can't handle pressure, you defend desperately. Difficult employee. Example, your manager publicly humiliates you. Weak move, rage back. Strategic move, pause, breathe, respond calmly. I'd like to discuss this one-on-one after the meeting. You just flip the dynamic. They look aggressive, you look professional. But what if they keep pushing? What if they give you impossible tasks designed to make you fail? That's where strategy number 5 gets dangerous. Strategy number 5. Controlled non-compliance. The law. Never directly disobey. Just create strategic friction. Your manager assigns 3 urgent projects simultaneously. Weak move. Work weekends to finish all 3. Burnout. Strategic move. Email. Happy to prioritize. Which is the highest urgency? I want to ensure quality delivery. You just forced them to make the decision. If they blame you later, you have the email. But controlled non-compliance only delays the war. Strategy number 6 is where you start winning it. Strategy number 6. Mirror their tactics. The law. If they use psychological warfare, use it back, invisibly. Machiavelli. It is better to be feared than loved, but never hated. Example. Your manager takes credit for your work in a presentation. Weak move. Complain to HR. Strategic move. Send a summary email to senior leadership before your manager spins it. Here's the project update I completed this week. You just claimed credit first. Publicly. Politely. They can't retaliate without looking petty. But there's one scenario where none of this works, where the only move left is strategy number 7. The nuclear option. Strategy number 7. Controlled exit. The nuclear option. The law. Sometimes the only winning move is to leave, with leverage. You've documented abuse, built alliances, mirrored tactics. Nothing works. Weak move. Emotional resignation. Burn bridges. Strategic move. Step 1. Secure a better job first. Step 2. Resign professionally with a templated email. Step 3. Schedule an exit interview with HR. Present documentation calmly. Here's what happens next. You're already gone. They can't retaliate, but you just triggered an internal investigation. And here's the part that feels like justice. 6 months later, you hear they got fired. Not because of your complaint, because you weren't the only one who documented. You were the first one to devise a strategy to leave with power. Let's bring this full circle. Toxic managers aren't unbeatable. They're predictable. They rely on gaslighting, scapegoating, and intimidation because it works on people who don't understand the game. But you're not one of those people anymore, the 7 strategies. These aren't tips, they're survival tools. And here's what you need to understand. Right now, today, your toxic manager is using psychological warfare against you. If you don't recognize it, you'll keep wondering why you're stuck, stressed, and powerless. Machiavelli's final warning: the unarmed rich man is the prize of the poor soldier. Translation: if you have talent but no strategy, you're not a player, you're prey. So let me ask you, which of these 7 strategies do you need to use right now? Drop it in the comments. I want to see your battle plan. And if this exposed the war you didn't know you were fighting, hit subscribe and share this with one man who needs to stop being controlled and start playing strategically. And whether you can spot them before they're used on you. Don't miss it.